Well, the stories run wild and the laughs come free, with the duck and an eagle shooting the breeze. From paintball fields to campfire fun, you know the rowdy talk's just begun. Now kick up your feet and pour a glass, we're about to have a blast. We're the rowdy ones, we're the rowdy ones, the rowdy ones.
Welcome back to the Rowdy Ones. Couldn't be happier than to be joined by Colt Luckau. I think you have such an inspirational story. Your family in general and your organization is something that, you know, other teams aspire to be now. I think you guys have changed the paradigm of professional paintball in a lot of ways. And you individually, I think, are, you know, one of the biggest personalities for a young player coming up in the game right now. And, you know, you have the trophy case to match, so there's not much you can say about that. So I appreciate, you know, the pure energy, the emotion that you bring to the game. I think that passion, you can't like fake it. You can't replicate it really. It has to be there or not. So when I see that in you, it excites me for, you know, younger generations of players. But, you know, I think we have a lot of things that we can get into tonight. Obviously, you have such an interesting story from, you know, coming into the pro league, struggling a little bit, fighting your way back in such a dominant fashion, and then really gaining, in my opinion, your guys' confidence level at that World Cup through a lot of tenacious battles before you finally won it. And then from there, your confidence has obviously been there, but it's all the hard work and stuff that you guys put in off the field and like things that, you know, your family and your dad has provided. You're a paintball, you're like a offspring of paintball, right? Your dad's been playing forever. He's had a field. He's been huge for the area. And, you know, fields look to emulate your field and the things that you guys do there. You're always pushing the envelope of new styles, and your team's doing the same. So, you know, I want to get into all that. But first of all, I want to, you know, thank you so much for taking the time out of your busy day. I see you're at the field now, you know, waiting for the sun to go down and to turn on those lights and get everyone playing out there.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It's like 8 p.m. here. They've been playing since 7. There's still some guys out there playing right now. But I was like, all right, got some people to like handle the rest of the night.
Yeah.
And I was like, I got to go do my interview. But we're all set. We're good to go.
Yeah. How many people do you guys get out there on like a weeknight like this?
It definitely differs. Like in the summertime, you get more, right? Because people can kind of leave their kids with the wife because they're tired by that time and not just cooped up in school all day. And they get more of an opportunity to come out, or they can bring their kids with them. I think that's a big part of it. But like right now, I think we have about. Yeah, and it's just super hot. But
sure.
We got about like 15 people out here right now.
That's solid. That's solid for a Wednesday.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And how many you guys are open? How many days a week normally? About
4. So Wednesdays and Friday nights, and then Saturday, Sunday.
Oh, that's awesome.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I think really what your dad did to build that is been so good for your team, obviously, for the ability to play there, and you guys all being younger and having that. Like on Philly, one of the things that helped the most for us was having that team house, being able to bond together, grow up together, you know, go through different life stages, but also just be there for each other and have like, you know, we had a paintball park that, you know, right next to us too, and being able to put in all that time. It's not always about the reps that you're doing there, as stupid as that is to say, but it's just about, you know, having fun doing what you're doing. If you can put all that time in and still love what you're doing and not have it feel like a job, that's when you need the break. Because I think mental breaks are good for people too. And you always want to avoid the burnout, which is hard when you work in paintball, when you play paintball, when you think about paintball, when you have a little off time and you jump on a conversation about paintball.
Yeah.
but it's a hard balance.
It's definitely super hard, man. Like, and I mean, even to touch on that, like, so like even the night balls, we would play them all the time. It was every Wednesday and Friday and Saturday, Sunday. And like Johnny kind of instilled that, let's do night balls. Let's get, you know, the public out here and be helping them all the time. And we were playing so much that you did start to get to that burnout, you know, like 4 days a week for 5 straight years. Will
for sure.
And sometimes you know what I mean?
And sometimes it's a mental burnout, but sometimes too, it's like now you're just going through the motions. So now like putting on paintball gear doesn't feel special. It's hard to get yourself in that same mindset. Like I at least for me personally, like breaks have helped me for that kind of thing. It's like, well, you don't want it to feel so redundant. You want it to be second nature. So you're comfortable out there no matter when, but you also want it to like have some sort of, reward / punishment for how you do at all times.
100%. And like, that's even like after Cincinnati, like this was our first week back this week for the team. Like I literally told everyone, like, bro, take a break, mentally take a break. Cause I think we've all been in this like funk recently of like, I think forgetting why we like playing paintball. And it kind of did become like a job, right? So I think everyone's kind of in a good spirit now, and things are kind of feeling like they should, if that makes sense. I think it's very exciting going into Texas.
Oh, I love to hear that. That makes complete sense to me. It's what you want. You want things to feel like they should. Anytime there's any difference in the background, anything in the back of people's minds, you can't, play at least up to your potential.
100%. 100%.
So, but I think it's cool. Oh, sorry, Hal, but I think it's cool that, your family not only has the field, but you guys have like HydroFit. You're always trying to, develop things in the sport, but that's also given you guys the opportunity, I think, to, hold your team together a little more, because it allows outlets for people to have jobs, right? Because people don't realize how much time actually gets involved with it, right? So you need some way to financially make it make sense. A normal job doesn't give you off the amount of time we need to play and to do things. So it's that whole infrastructure that you guys built that have allowed you to be successful. It's the players individually and the organization and how you can build a team that allows you to win, but to sustain that and to get there in the first place, you have to be able to like hit your potential, and you can never do that without like, good foundation in place.
Right. Yeah, no, 100%. That's kind of how we tried to build from the ground up. Just like you said, that's been the vision, and now it's kind of like coming to fruition, and just blessed and happy to be doing it.
For sure. I hope to see you do it for, another couple decades. It's still fun. I still plan to be doing it for a while. So.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So I do want to give a shout out. I will say, huge HydroFit guy. I shout out to HydroFit because I struggle. I've got bad knees. I've blown ACLs out. I beat the hell out of them wakeboarding, doing all the other past crazy stuff in my life I've done. And I've just got rough knees. And
when you came back to paintball, let's be honest, you weren't the smoothest slider or anything. I think I saw you the first time you tried to dive. Ronnie was so happy to send me this video, just how eating shit.
Oh, dude, I was full on Superman. I was like,
in his mind.
No, it was like Superman, like in the air, not on the ground. Like I was going there. Yeah, no, I'm not saying it was good.
You were.
I'm not saying
I've never seen Superman in that position. Like if you had a cape, it wouldn't have been flapping. It would have been wrapped around your face.
Oh, that's fucked.
I didn't go backwards and forwards. Like what the hell? How's it getting around my face? All right. Anyways. No, so it's funny. Ronnie and I were working on. As Ryan likes to wear basically no knee pads. They're little slider covers for his knee with this much pad. And so Ryan's like, oh, you should use these. They're great. I'm like, these are awful. They are awful. They are awful. Awful. And I had a pair of Exalts, and I'm like, they're too big. They're too bulky. I was like, too much cushion. And then I bought the HydroFit knee pads, the V2s. Love them, dude. Love them. They're so good. And I bought them after I literally ate shit so bad. And Ronnie was like, so I've got access to an indoor soccer dome.
And you're basically like Goldilocks slithering in the little bear's bed. That's HydroFit for you. It's just right.
Just right. No, but it was funny. Ronnie was I was like, hey, I just want to work through this and just get it right so I don't hurt myself. I'm better at it, whatever. And so I have like a five-piece bunker from Sup Air, and I go up there and it's all turf, and I go and play. It's not the best turf. They don't ever pull the ballast out of the top really, so it's like really beady, and some places will be slick and some places are stick. Man, I stuck so hard, and Ronnie's like, take it up a notch. He's like, go full speed. And I was like, oh God. I was like, all right. And I go and I commit. And did I commit? I literally bounced off the ground, and Ronnie saw feet in the air, front flipping. And then I was like rolling away. And I was like, after that, what's that?
This was before you got your hydro fits?
Yeah, that's what I was using yours. Huh?
Oh, so it's the knee pads' fault that you that you're uncoordinated.
100% the knee pads. 100% the knee pads.
Dude, that's crazy.
Anyways, after that, I got online and ordered a pair, and they've been great. My knee took like 3 months to fully recover. It was rough.
Yeah, it's not made for everyone, you know. but
oh, good.
I just would like to know, like, when you didn't start playing until like when?
Yeah, so I mean, I didn't start actually playing until 2016.
That's what I was thinking. So I guess really what I'd like to know is, like, being from a paintball family, what was your relationship to paintball before that? Because you were around it.
I would go while Brody, Johnny, and my dad playing tournaments. I would be the guy on the sideline because it was back when there was a sideline coaching.
Yeah.
So I would have like pool noodles, and I would just be marking the take. And around like Texas, a lot of the teams would call me Noodle Boy because it's just something.
I hate stopping you, but do you think you could try to disconnect and join again? You're just a little breaking up, so I just want people to hear what you're saying. Yeah. Would that help?
I got you.
I think it might reestablish a connection.
Yeah, that's what I would think.
Yeah.
Okay.
Here, I'll remove you and kick you and get you another invite real quick. Okay.
Sorry to interrupt, dude. I just wouldn't.
No, we want.
No, I'd rather do that than.
Yeah. It's just choppy. All right.
Welcome back. Sorry about the technical difficulties. A lot of mayhem going on while you guys were gone, you know.
Dude,
had Colt rushing home from the field, you know, doing us a big favor. Getting to his house, getting to some Wi-Fi. House thinking intruders are coming. He's racking shotguns. I'm just sitting here not knowing what's going on. So
to be fair, I'm just not like, oh, intruder. My dog was losing his ever-loving mind downstairs. So I will preface that.
So it doesn't really matter where we're at.
I do know where we were at, and I got this. I was asking, we were talking about, you know, the format of our podcast, and it's not like we like really talking about stories, and those stories help shape people. And that's what I love about having a podcast. And I wanted to ask you, you know, I know you could say winning World Cup is probably one of your favorite moments, like winning up to that, and y'all were just dominating that whole year. And that is like a highlight moment. But
You're
like before,
favorite moment question.
Yeah, hell yeah,
That's
dude.
great.
I am. I know it's corny, but I want to know his favorite moment before pro paintball, before their big runs in the pro division. Like, what was something that just lit up your world?
So, I mean, I can think of a couple. I mean, one of my favorite ones was probably the first tournament I ever won for like a three-peat. So like D3 was big for me because D4 fit. Like a lot of people don't know this, but we were merged with a couple of guys from like Nebraska area, and they would come down. And at the time, Greg and Jell were actually helping coach our D4 line, and I didn't get like any reps like for the first like 2 to 3 events. There's another guy, Bart, which I love Bart. He actually helped me a lot with like understanding how to be a leader off the field. But I felt like that whole year was kind of rocky for me. So like at the time I'm 18 because it was 2018. So I'm kind of going through like not playing, and like we win 2 events, and it's just kind of like, man, this sucks. Like I'm putting in a lot of work. I'm not really getting to like play on my, you know, my with my brothers essentially, because Johnny at the time was playing D2. And it was me, Brody, and Trenton with a couple of guys from Nebraska. And like, I wasn't getting a lot of reps. And then like, it is what it is. You know, it was kind of, I had a conversation with Johnny, and he was like, look, you either, you know, I'll use a better word, be a baby, and not play anymore and just kind of quit and, you know, not really have anything else to go for besides working every day. Or, you know, you lock in and show people that you deserve to be the guy. Right. So I, you know, go flash forward. We skip the 3rd event, play the 4th event. I get more reps, kind of earn some reps and splitting some points.
Yeah.
And then we win Chicago, and then go to the next year. We end up losing Cup that year. We got like 6 at Cup and D4. But then D3 was like now our team. Johnny comes back. He's playing D3 with us. Chavi, this is flash forward. We win the first 2 events in D3. And like it was still felt like you were still trying to like prove yourself, if that makes sense. Because at the divisional level, it's different teams every time until about like D2, right? Like D3 and D4, it's kind of just the local teams in that area.
Yeah.
At least back in like 2018, 2019. The third event that year, we were going for a three-peat, and it's hard to do in any division, whether you're D5, D4. Winning 3 in a row is very hard. But that was the first event that Chavi played with us. So it was me, Chavi, Johnny, Brody, and Trenton. And then we even had like Jeremy Zimmerman with us, and Chuck Latham, who now coaches our Hydra Kids team. But like we went out there, and like Casey couldn't make that event. So like we're missing our coach, all kinds of things that could go wrong to not win the three-peat.
So he's been your coach that whole time?
Yeah. He's been a part of the squad since D3. So it was actually Casey's first time at like being our coach was D3, because in D4 it was Jell Stewart and Greg kind of like helping out.
Mm-hmm.
And it really was just Jell the whole time, because Greg was busy with AC Dallas and semi-pro Diesel at the time. So it was really just Jell. But yeah, then we won that event, and it was just a fun event. And like the whole time, everyone was just kind of messing around and joking, and it was serious, but it wasn't like the other events. Like we were just there like for each other to kind of like prove that it's our team. And like for me at least, it was like to prove that like, I deserve to be where I'm at. And I think getting a three-peat in D3 kind of like set it in stone for me that like I really could go pro in this sport.
Mm-hmm.
I think back to that event, getting the 3 in a row, that really like kind of cemented it for me at least.
That's awesome. One thing I'd like to touch on, because I think it's overlooked a lot, but you mentioned, your team's winning, but you might not be playing. I think that's the hardest moment in sports. And it's underappreciated a lot of times, because there's a couple of paths you can take. And I've been on teams with people both ways, and I've been, probably that person sometimes. But like, if your team's winning, you have to kind of ride a line of, being the best teammate you can be, doing everything that you can do to help, but also, still having the motivation to want to prove yourself that if you're out there, you'd be better, right? Then you want to fight for that. You want to earn that. But it's so easy to slide into being a bad teammate, being resentful of things. And that can eat away at the whole fabric of the system. and that's something that I don't think gets looked at enough. And that's one of the harder things about, I've played on a lot of great teams, and when you carry large rosters, that's a built-in issue, right? If you're on a money team with a large roster, it's everyone on that team thinks they should play. And sometimes certain coaches will have favor towards some players, and it's not 100% justified, but you have to be able to internalize all that yourself, figure out what drives you, and work to be your best self. Make yourself, just no answer for it, right? Like you have to be so good that they have to put you in. Because I've had a lot of younger players come up to me and go, it's like, hey, I think I'm as good as this player. Like, I should be here. It's like, well, you don't get somewhere by being as good as someone. Because if you're as good as someone, they're always going to take who they trust, who they're comfortable with, who they understand how they react in different situations. You have to be so much better to earn a spot. Then you have to be even that much better to sustain a spot. And the only way that you can get that is having that internal drive, because you're going to go through times where you're not playing, where, you're not playing up to your expectations, or, you thought you had a good practice, but you didn't earn that trust of your coach yet. And those are the internal struggles I think athletes always deal with that get overlooked, because that's really in the long run what affects your confidence.
Yeah, no, 100%. It's I think most people have to go through that at some point. And you see it a lot with people just kind of like in divisionals, they just leave their team.
Yeah.
And it's wild. They never like think, oh, I got to work harder and go from that. But I mean, like looking back, like I'm just happy I had an older brother who was honest with me instead of like
Yeah.
some people who I feel like they go to their support systems and they just get told they're like, no, yeah, you're right. 100% you're right. And then it's a slippery slope.
Yeah, you talk about people that leave teams. I think that's why there's players that, lose on every team they are on, and there's players that win everywhere they go.
Yeah.
Because there's different fabric that makes
There
up
is.
people.
And I kind of want to talk about this something before. I think the first time I talked to you is when you had that it was ACL, correct?
Mhm.
Yeah. And I was talking to you about ACL. I was like, hey, just so you know, if it's like tear, strain, or like a partial whatever, we were talking about that PRP, right? And I was like, hey, it works magic. It's not really well talked about, but we had our first conversations there. But what I have always noticed about you, you have brought this intensity, like not only like on the field, but in the pits when it's before it's game time, you just bring this intensity. And then it's like, it's infectious to the people around you, right? You're controlling the chaos and making it a thriving atmosphere. Did you, and I'm just curious because people are born with that, but also people pick that up from the people they grow up around. Like, what was it for you? Was that something that was in your family? Is that just you are like a warrior that has that intensity inside of them? Like, because like for being a warrior, like you see a warrior, right? And it's might be a different battlefield for people, but it's the same person, just in a different field.
No, I mean, absolutely. No, everyone in my family is like that. I'm just louder. But like growing up with like Brody and Johnny and my dad, they're all very strong personalities. Everyone's always right, no matter if they're wrong or not. So we're all
Yeah.
constantly like very, very heavy opinionated on our things. But I think everyone's very passionate too. Like, I mean, when it just comes to little things like being a Cowboys fan, like it's different things that everyone kind of just is just super passionate. And I don't really know. I don't have a good answer of why, but like just from a young age, even watching like my brother and my dad at practices when I'm like 9 years old, and they're just passionate, dude. I remember there's one clip my brother Brody core sampled. And you're talking about intense. He core samples, shattered his chest, and it's back when they had those like R7 cameras, the replay ones.
Mm-hmm.
Well, my dad and him both had cameras. It's funny you play them side by side, but he's down. He's like aching, and my dad runs past him. Is like, "Get up, pussy!" And like runs past him,
I
and
love
like
that.
goes and bumpers the dude in the snake. He doesn't understand. His 16-year-old son just shattered his chest. He's
Oh,
just trying to go win the point. You know what I mean? And then like that's just one like eye-opening thing that pops into my head is just like, dude, like all he could think about at the moment was like, go win the point, go win the point,
Yeah.
go win the point.
Yeah.
And
When
like I
you
think that's just kind of bred into us.
when you have family like that, and when that's just how you are, the passion makes sense. But I think it's interesting that you became a leader as a younger brother, still with your family doing that, because that's a hard battle a lot of times. Like you said, everyone is opinionated, everyone is passionate. You're gonna all have arguments and think you're right and try to prove something, but to earn the respect of not your peers, but really people that came before you in your own line. Like that's
Yeah.
not an easy battle to have.
Well, and being a fellow Texan, I grew up in Texas. My wife and I are about to move back down to Texas. It's almost this, and you'll understand this term. It's a DeGuayo attitude. You remember what DeGuayo? Santa Ana played it at the Alamo.
He's as white as can be. You're DeGuayo?
Yeah, I'm North Texan, dude.
Yeah, so was I, dude.
My man's white bread over here.
I'm more white than this old boy. You want to see my leg? I'm just kidding. But
yeah, you both are pretty white.
They'll blind you. No, DeGuayo, the Battle of Alamo, Santa Ana, when they were there and they asked for their surrender at the Alamo, they fired a cannon into them. And after that, Santa Ana played DeGuayo, which means no quarter. And after that,
gotcha.
It was game on. So
which was fun.
Need to read up on my history. Yeah.
Yeah, his history's full of wild times. That's why, man, I hate seeing people complain about now and about the little trivial things, because we live in the easiest time that has ever existed on Earth. You know, like
100%.
we
Google something if you don't know it.
We eat because we're bored or because we want a flavor. We live in air conditioning. We have instant access to any information that you could want. like we live in such an easy time now, and people still find a way to complain. It boggles my mind.
Yeah. No, 100%. It's just going to keep happening all throughout the future. It's just everyone's going to have something to be mad about.
Always. But I think that proves a lot is when people have to go out of their way to look for things to be mad about, as opposed to, because those times only come when you have the time to sit and relax and think and do it. Like if you're fighting for survival at every time, or you're homeless and you're trying to, figure out your next meal, or whatever your situation is, you can't worry about anything that's going on outside life, right? Like you're worried about the present, and that's what sports bring too.
Yeah. Well, there's a saying, right? Easy times create weak men, right? Like we live in the easiest society.
Hard times make hard men.
Yeah.
Hard men make easy times. The easy times make weak men.
Yeah.
And the cycle continues.
Yeah, it goes around. No, but you know what's funny? Not to divert. I came home today, was hanging out with dogs, and I was like, what movie was I watching? We started talking about this. There's a movie that just came out. Michael Pena is one of my favorite actors. Love him to death. There's a movie that just came out. It's on Hulu. It's Have Fun, Good Luck, Don't Die. And it's wild. And it's basically this dude time travels all these times over and over in this loop to find the right combination of people to take down this kid that is going to create AI because it ruins the world. And it is actually pretty good. It looks stupid as hell from the cover. You're like, no. And I was like watching it on a plane. I started. I was like, okay, I can get it.
Yeah, like plane movies are the best time to watch a stupid movie. Kill some time.
You find some good stuff every once in a while.
Watching a bad, corny movie on a plane is like time traveling.
It is. Hey, my wife and I time traveled when we were in Florida. Time travelers, baby. We had a layover in Kansas City.
Oh,
and
there
we
you
flew
go.
into Colorado, and it was just like a boop, boop. And I was like, I finally traveled in time. I was like, hell yeah, here we go.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Because I landed.
The time zones.
Yeah, because the time zone,
that's like, the first time you've traveled through time zones? Of course not.
No, when we... Yes, it is. I've only flown circles in a tight loop. No, because whenever you take off, it's X amount of time. It's like a 35-minute flight.
No, I get it.
I don't know. I don't think you do. And it's fine.
I don't get you. I get it.
You don't need to get me. If you understand me, I'm going to start asking questions.
I still love you, bro.
Anyways.
I'm going to have to cut him off of his Busch latte soon, though.
But it's latte. It's American can. You can't cut off America, dude. For the farmers. But, what is... I got to get a funny story out of you. I've got to...
that's not how you get them. You just work it. Don't think about a funny story for real. I would actually just... I want to touch on your injury some more because, like, we barely got into it. Like, well, you can't just work a funny story by asking for it like that. I have a million funny stories. If you asked me for a funny story, I couldn't think of one for a week.
I was going to say, I just blanked. I couldn't think of anything.
That's a horrible
Put him on the spot,
approach.
my bad.
It's a horrible approach.
I've had a rough week, dude. I needed a laugh.
No, I appreciate it. I literally blanked. I was like, dude, I can't think of anything.
Dude, it's impossible. It's like asking a comedian to tell you a joke. It's not how it works.
Yeah.
That's fine. I had a bad week. I needed a laugh. Sorry.
Well, then wait for one. You don't ask for one. Jeez. Needy little kid.
He's got to have good stories.
Of course he does. But anyway, back to your injury. I think what I really appreciated about it, like, those are such hard times to deal with, and especially an ACL that is, minimum of X amount of time.
Yeah.
I could see it in your face. You were crushed when it happened, but I was proud of the way you worked through it because not only did you get in better shape throughout of it, you stayed passionate for paintball. I could see just as much passion on the sidelines when you were coaching and, yelling at the guys when they're coming in, good or bad, just getting the most out of them. And then when it was time for you to come back, like, man, I'm sure you were so ready to come back. And it's just exciting to be back on the field and doing what you had to watch, which is like torture. Like,
yeah. No, I mean, it sucked for sure. Cause like, we win that cup, and like going back to kind of like our past before that, right? It was, you get offered to play pro, you get relegated. Then the next year you lose by half a point by getting second to win the pro spot. Then you go and you do the all five in semi-pro, and you win the pro spot. You struggle all year, start clicking. You make Sunday for the first time in Chicago. Then you win cup. Things are going great. You're losing weight. You're the most motivated you've ever been.
Yeah.
To have it ripped away the day before the next season was hard, man. Like I remember when it happened. The play had happened. My brother got shot off the break, and I looked over, and he was still playing, and I had to shoot his pack to like get him out. So like I was like, hey, like you're.
It's better to go for the ribs when they're doing that. You want them to get out instantly. Sam will do that worse than anyone I've ever played with. If he sees like something clip off your pack, he's shooting you like 40 times in the side.
Dude, I've been in the pit in Sarge's so many times. Sarge was like, why did Sam just shoot him? I was like, no, he got him out because he was hit. He was like, he was like, every time Sarge was like, oh, okay, that's fine.
He's like, oh yeah, I got him. It was always the worst with too.
Oh yeah.
But I end up shooting him, and then I'm like, okay, I got to fill up the snake side to start going. And I go, and I'm running up to the 50 snake because I just shot their guys who don't realize that I filled out. I shoot their corner guy and their snake 50. And then when I go to like get into the snake 50, I step on like a mound. So then when I turned and cut, it just immediately like, it felt like when you like twist a water bottle and pop the cap. That's how it felt in like the front of my knee towards the inside. And like, I felt it pop. I fall on the ground immediately because I can't move my leg, and I could feel it go numb, and it just kind of wouldn't move. And I knew it right then. And I had never had like a serious injury until that moment, but I immediately was like, oh, that's gone. Like I can't move my leg. I'm fucked. You know what I mean? And like my brother and Cyrus came over, like trying to help me up. And I'm like, no, I tore my ACL. Like I know I tore it. That's a weird feeling. I don't like this. Like can't move my leg. You know what I mean? And and then it all just kind of started sitting in, and just kind of being like, oh fuck, like I'm done for a year. You know what I mean? And I remember sitting in the pits, and I'm sitting there, and we're waiting for the cart to come get me, and like Scott came up, and I just had a nice conversation with him, and just kind of was saying like, don't worry about me, just go win the event. You know what I mean? Like because you could see it on people's face, and like I mean when one of your starters goes down in any sport, it's a natural reaction to be like, oh fuck, now what?
Yes.
You know what I mean? And like and I could see it on their face, and I was like, if I don't say something, we're just gonna lose and be here for nothing. Not because of talent, it's just a mental block.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So like I just explained it to them all, like, no, dude, like I'm fine, I'll be good, like just worry about practice, and like let's go win this fucking tournament. And then just kind of went from there. And on the cart ride, I'm like in my head, like, no, I'm fucked. Like I know it's screwed. And then you like flash forward that I come back to the event, and like they're saying it's a sprain. I go to see a sports doctor while I'm in Tampa that Friday, and he's saying I think it's just a sprain, but let's get an MRI just in case. I get the MRI. I'm going the whole weekend coaching. The guys are killing it. Jake Seaball steps into that role just flawlessly. And the whole time we're talking at night, we're talking in between matches, we're talking in between points, going over my reads and just everything that he needs to be doing, what the other team's doing, just trying to be the best support I can for him, right? Because like that's a hard thing to do, to come onto a new team, and now you're just like, well, you're the starter, like here you go.
Opportunity then.
Yeah, absolutely. And like he was able to to stunt, and you flash forward to the win, and everyone's super excited, and it's a good fucking day, right? We end the day, everyone's hyped. We go to the award show, accept all of our awards, do all that stuff, and then the next morning we're breaking down the tent, and I get the call about my MRI, and and then because like you go the whole weekend and you just keep getting told that it's a sprain. It's a sprain. Your back next event.
Oh,
Your back next event.
people love telling you your injuries aren't bad.
Oh yeah.
Oh, dude. And honestly, like shout out to Marcelo. He was one of the ones who told me, like, hey, I know your doctor said it's a sprain, but like so did mine. And I played on it and it was a torn ACL. So like definitely get an MRI. So then I got the MRI and like, it's an expedited MRI. And the guy was able to read it on Monday, but I get it Monday and I get that phone call and he starts off by saying like congratulations and stuff like that. So like in my head, like, oh, it is a sprain. Like this is good. And then he's just like, I got some bad news. And he tells me I tore it. And it was just like, I think that's the first time I've cried since being a kid. Like it all set in like, oh shit, it is torn. And like, he's reading it to me and he's like, hey, it looks like you completely tore your ACL and you tore both your meniscus, and it looks like there might be something with your MCL. Luckily, that was a sprain after I went to like an actual specialist. But yeah, it definitely sucked. That whole feeling of just kind of like going over it is torn. How long is this going to be, and like all the different steps. But then we got back and started getting to work. Immediately got surgery April 1st, so I tore it on the 6th of May. Or it was 6th or 7th, whatever that Thursday was, and then our March, and then got surgery on April Fool's Day.
Yes.
And then
Did
probably
you
never gonna forget that. But
did you do a quad graft or a hamstring?
I did a quad.
That's what I got
quad.
too.
Do they not?
Yeah,
do
he told me
anymore. No more cadavers.
No, they do.
No,
they do, but it's like a certain age they can do it.
Because you don't want to be active with the cadaver ACL because you're more likely to tear it again, or
if you get a fresh cadaver,
It's still not. No, the guy that did mine, he was the guy that actually, Dr. Montgomery, shout out to him, OG dude. He did my dad's knee repairs and all that. He was like top 3 in the U.S. He helped revolutionize the quad graft. Amazing doctor. He's out of Dallas. He's retired now. When I blew mine out skiing. I was going probably 60, 70 miles an hour on a Black Diamond run skiing. I was a ski instructor and a coach at the time. So it's like high speed was no problem, but I hit a patch of ice in the middle of a super G type carve where you're gaining speed as you're carving. And I know where my speed was roughly because my skis when they start chattering, I know where I'm at speed wise, and they start to do that light chatter. And I was like, okay, I'm at a good speed. I can hold this, and I'm doing these turns. And I hit a patch of ice, slide out, skis. I slide on my right hip, skis come up, come back down, stand me up instantly, full stop. And it goes, and it wasn't like a loud pop. But what was
I didn't hear mine either.
It's a
feeling.
Just feel it. You can feel
it. You just feel it.
Because I popped my groin before that last event. Like you just feel it. You don't hear things pop.
My dad's heard his when he blew his out. He actually heard his pop.
Yeah, you can sometimes.
And you can. But what was funny was I was like, no pain. I was like, good. I go to stand up on the skis and try and make a turn. My knee goes like this. And I was like,
no stability.
I was like, woo! I was like, all right, I'm not okay. And I'm like right under the ski lift.
That's why it's crazy. Hines Ward for the Steelers played his whole NFL career as the toughest receiver he's ever played with no ACL.
Jade?
No, it's insane.
Jade, my buddy who's a pro wakeboarder that was here helping me with the disaster that's going on in my kitchen. I was like, dude, I told him today, I was like, bro, I can't believe your knees are still good. He goes, no, I'm pretty sure I don't have either ACL.
I mean, that's the only reason I won't get my knees checked. I know they're not they're not visually appealing.
Don't get
Yeah,
don't get them checked. Just get them stabbed with some PRP and be like,
Yeah.
just pump some shit in there. Let's go.
I'm good, man. I'm good to go.
Dude, Dr. Montgomery, real quick, when I went in there and talked to him and he looked at my MRI, he goes, "You dip like your dad?" And I was like, "Yeah, Copenhagen straight long cut." He throws me a can of Copenhagen in his office and was like, "Have a dip. Let's talk." I just packed it.
Convenient you had your brand, huh?
Oh, dude, exactly what I dipped. Exactly what I dipped. And I was like, all right, coolest doctor ever, dude. But anyways, go ahead.
But going back to your story, I think the biggest thing that tells me, or that I took from that, is growth. Because
Yes.
I think you were probably happier in that win than you ever were in the wins when you weren't playing before, right? And I agree that moment of you getting injured, I thought was the crossroads for your team, because you guys earned every bit of that World Cup win the year before. But one win can be fleeting, and being able to sustain that is tough. And I think if people took that mentality the wrong way when you got injured, you guys were at a crossroad and you could go in two directions.
Yeah.
And like when I saw you guys win after that, I was like, okay, they're the real deal. That's like, obviously I respect you guys before. You guys were great competitors, but
you just don't know if it's a flash in the pan. Like,
well, it's not just that. Like, someone has the capabilities, then you don't know if they have the mental ability to sustain it. And those are two very different things. It doesn't make it a flash in the pan, but it may, if a team can get through hard times, they'll always be a threat. Yes. And if a team can't, that's when they're a flash in the pan. Teams that don't have any mental tenacity. So seeing that, from the team was great, but from you too, because I saw, genuine joy in yourself. And that's probably the first time where you didn't play at all, but you were like happy.
Like just genuinely happy. Yeah.
Yeah. Just like you did, because you're proud of your guys, that something special is building. At least that's, how it looks from my perspective.
No, I appreciate that. I appreciate it like a lot, man. And I do look back and I'm honestly kind of like thankful for it happening, because I do think it gave me a different perspective for just paintball in general, like the scouting, the coaching, all of it, right? And like the things my brother was taking a step back to do to make us successful, and that's not playing as much, and he's coaching and doing that stuff, and like coaching sucks, man. It's you know what I mean? Like I definitely would rather play, but it's a thankless job, I feel like, for a lot of people, and like it did give me that perspective, and it did let me kind of notice a lot of different tendencies on a lot of different teams as well. Like, because I'm watching while they're playing us, I'm watching into the other pit, coaches talking while playing us to their teammates about us.
Yeah,
and
you're hearing all this information. You're seeing a top-down view of both teams playing. Like, as a starter, you're always playing. You understand from your field awareness and vision what's going on, and from what people are telling you. But when you're a high-level player and you can sit back and watch from that perspective and take all that other insight, I agree.
Yes.
It's pretty invaluable, even though it's heartbreaking.
But,
it's. But I do think it also helps you realize like how much, in any role you can put a thumb on a scale and affect it.
No, 100%.
And I think that's so important for everyone to understand. Like, anyone in an organization has a huge effect on it. I've always preach that you can add the best player to the best team and make it worse, right? And vice versa. You can add the worst player in the league to a team and make that team better, because you're trying to build a team atmosphere. You're trying to build something that's so copacetic and fits together, and everyone, feels good about the whole situation, and understanding different roles in that helps you do your job better when you're back on the field, right? Like, you have lots of years to play. So you're back on the field and you can take and appreciate those things. And then when the time comes, decades down the road, you can go into that role again if you want to. Because I think I think when you're ready to go into that role, coaching's fun. But when when you're a competitor still, and when your heart is set on playing still, that's when it feels a little bit like torture.
No, 100%. And like that, even like coming back like into that first World Cup, like I wasn't cleared yet. Like my surgeon told me not to play. But I played in like a big brace, because like you're talking to the team, and
they always do.
I know, and it was funny because my PT guy was like, "Hey, I know he's telling you that, but that's just I don't want to get sued card.
Yeah.
You could play, man. Just please be careful. If you feel it hurt at all, don't don't keep going. Like,
Yeah.
but no, going back into that, it was a lot of like feeling like I had to prove myself because a lot of people, I was in a mental struggle after the last two events, like because we won two in a row, then we lost two, and then we were going in the cup, and it was more like I need to prove that I'm still like that guy.
Yeah.
To
So like
yourself
it
more
was,
than anyone else.
yeah, not to
Yes.
anyone else, but like to myself, because I'm like, I mean, should I keep playing? Like, should I get back to playing? Should I not? Am I doing the wrong thing? Should I stick to coaching? Like, it was a lot of mental
And then you have
blockings.
and then you have your surgeon telling you not to play. So it's like,
Yeah.
how much can I push this? Like, because you're not
Yes, dude.
100% healthy. You never come back 100% healthy. So it's
100%. And like, and we go play that, and I we did pretty good, but then come Sunday we just like burnt out and lost to damage. They just had our number, and that sucks, man. You know, you go from wanting to get two rings and only getting one ring. Like, you win the series, but fuck, man, like, you really want those two rings.
And I've won so many series before I ever won a World Cup, and I hated every one of them. It just doesn't.
Yeah,
feel
like
right.
people are like, dude, congrats on the series. I'm like, yeah, it's cool, but like I want to win cup.
The only
You know what
time
I
winning
mean?
a series feels good is if you have the series locked up before Cup, because you won it in your mind before you ever even had to play, right?
Yeah.
Or if you win Cup to win the series. Those are the only two times it can feel good, because you can't feel good losing in the same time. Like,
Yeah.
I don't see how you could.
Well,
I saw X Factor celebrate in 2019 when we won Cup, like they won, and I was like, nah, I don't understand that. I've been in that spot so many times that just didn't make sense.
you know,
No, 100%.
when you did get hurt, it's what you practice, what you preach as like a paintball fit, right? Family integrated. You know, that is what y'all are. Y'all spend so much time together. Where if someone goes down, yeah, they might be the leader on the field, but now that person's gonna slide into a different role, and we know that this person can take care of this because we spend so much blood, sweat, tears, and time and hard work together. And it was like, when it happened, I was like, in my mind, I was like, I don't know if it's going to hurt them. And I was like, they're still going to be lethal, right? And it's because y'all spend that kind of time where people can slide into a new role and have that cohesion still there. And, you know, when someone does get hurt, you're always like, damn, it is like you said, it's the mental struggle. It's getting past that blocking point. But then y'all did it, and y'all showed up and showed out, and good for y'all.
No, I appreciate it, man. I mean, and to be completely honest, like, I didn't even get really over my injury till like right before last event. Like, it was still like I was scared to move. I was nervous anytime I'd run left because that's how I got hurt. And like,
You're
I
over
just
it when
was,
you don't think about it. And that's the
yeah.
only
And
time
then
you
I kind of
get
just got to the point, and I was like, bro, if I get hurt again, I get hurt again. 9 months, 9 months ain't shit, dude. I'll do rehab again.
Yeah, I'm
It
young.
is
I
what
can
it
be
is,
back.
dude. Yeah.
Well, I've got some really good KT taping support. Like when you go to how to KT tape. So it's like kind of like a very mobile, flexible
Well, we all know
support.
what KT tape is.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
I
yeah.
have how you tape in for that.
Yeah,
Like
so
without
I
having
mean,
to
I
have
would,
a brace.
yeah, I'll fucking look at that.
Yeah.
I'll KT tape with the hydro pads and the compression legs that I wear. So I'll
Yeah.
put it all on there.
That's so much stuff.
Yeah.
But I do have some that'll help with all the. It won't be restrictive, but it will be supportive if you're ever worried about it or you just want some of them. Dude, I'll send you how to do it. It's super easy and it's non-restrictive. So I do it when I ski. Like if I'm gonna have a hard ski day, and I'm like if I'm gonna go ski like double blacks or something for the day, and I know I'm gonna be making laps of doing that, I'll KT up just as a peace of mind, just so I don't have that mental. Oh, I got to be careful and
So he's saying though he's over it, dude. That's when you know, is when you don't think about that. You know, when you don't have.
That's fair. No, that's fair. I was just saying.
Hey, I'll still take it, dude. I'll still put some KT tape on there and get some extra support. But now I'm like at the point now where I'm like confident in my full abilities, because even like my off the break shooting was different. Like I was not doing the same form as I was before because I use a lot of my hips and my knees. because I was scared to twist. So
Yeah.
like I was
Scared to
shooting off the
twist.
break.
Your plant foot's going to be different. All those things.
Oh, yeah.
Little slight adjustments change everything.
Well,
But now
and
I'm finally like back
Go
to
ahead.
normal, and I'm just like super excited for the future because it feels the same now.
it's fun when that gear, you switch that gear and you're like,
yeah,
oh, everybody's in trouble, right?
absolutely.
Oh yeah, I definitely hear you there. I do not ever plan on watching an event again. So
Attaboy.
Don't like it.
Fuck yeah.
Dude,
But
we were
yeah.
doing everything.
Yeah, I have been doing everything. I've been doing every witch potion that I can on this thing. It's
like
not
red light.
Yeah, it's not fixed yet, but it's fixed enough where I'm going to try to. I'm going to play ICC this weekend, so I'll play a little 10-man action. So I'll get in your shoes a little
hell
bit.
yeah.
I'm going to play back mid.
There you go.
We'll see how long that lasts.
So-
But I'm definitely not running 150 yards in the woods off the break right now. So
But I do have a question. Do they don't air the ICC anymore, do they?
no.
Because I remember sometimes they would air it. And
Last
I
time
would
it aired
always-
was the year after Tim died when we did the Legends game that me
Yes.
and Alex captain. That was fun.
Yeah, I
It's
wish
not,
they
it's
would.
not the same because back then when Tim made the event, like he made it, to be a throwback event where all the divisions played together. It didn't matter what level you are, everyone was in the same 84 team bracket. Now it's a normal ICPL. It's still cool, still Pittsburgh, still at the field I grew up at, but it's not the same.
Is it this weekend?
Oh yeah, I'm playing with Trauma. I'm excited about that.
Yeah.
Just played against those dudes forever and never really played with them.
If I
And,
didn't have the kitchen chaos, I would
You
actually
should be.
fly out there.
Get to play with Sam again. I only played about 10 points with him before I got hurt. So it's
Chad G will be there. Yeah.
Chad will be there. So a little reunion for us.
That's sick.
We'll crush a couple beers, shoot a ton of people, have some fun.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. So I do want to ask y'all, and I think it's great having like a different, I call it a game mode because I played COD. And how did y'all come about with like doing the hard point style at PIT? Because I think it's great. It adds a different element, makes you play different, more aggressively, defensively. I think it's a fun idea. And I was planning on coming out with Ronnie because it's like August 15th, I think is when he was coming
sick.
out.
Yeah,
No,
dude, you gotta come.
I'm not. No, I'm not in August because my freaking boss told me today. He goes, "Oh, you got volunteered for this." I was like, "I had plans." He goes, "Yeah, sorry." I was like,
Sorry about it.
"Cool, dude."
No,
No, I
dude,
was gonna come down. Yeah,
It's all right. We'll have more of them, and then you got to come down next time when Ronnie comes.
Yeah, you were just
Yeah.
down
Dude,
with Ronnie last weekend. You guys had a big camping weekend, huh?
yeah.
Yeah.
Talk
yeah,
about that
was
for a sec.
man. It was sick. And so, it's really sick because I never knew what to expect, like with the whole thing, but like seeing the different like 16, 17-year-olds, and I'm like, dude, when I was their age, I was just starting, and these kids are here just able to talk. And
We're
like,
talking about the BKI summer camp.
Yeah.
You were a professor this year, so was Ronnie. So just to give everyone, up
yes,
to date on
yes. Yeah. At the BKI summer camp, because it's just really cool because like you get to be there with the pros, hanging out, making jokes, but also you can talk and genuinely learn things, ask the questions that have been on your mind about how to get better at certain aspects of the game. And you have the elite of the elite, right? Like you have Ronnie, you have Ryan, you have me and Jason, you have Nick Sloviak, who's like, I don't think people understand how much he's actually done in paintball just because he doesn't play anymore. But a lot of the kids there do now as well. But like Pasha as well from the Russians.
One of the
So you
biggest
get-
problems with Nick is, he's just so jovial and so friendly
yeah.
that people don't take him seriously. It doesn't
Yeah.
matter like what he's accomplished.
Yeah, they just think like, oh, you're just a joking guy. And I'm like, I don't think you realize this guy's won a lot of pro tournaments, man.
Yeah,
Like,
the accolades.
yeah, they have no idea. But like he understands what he's talking about. And like you see everyone getting different perspectives from everyone. Because one thing I was telling people too about paintball is, man, there's not a perfect way to do anything. everyone's got their own perspectives. I mean, there's certain things like perfect ways to close a point, like, 5-on-2, not letting that snake guy go all the way down your snake. That's probably the perfect thing not to do.
And even then,
But
there's 1,000 ways to do that.
and even then, yeah, there's 1,000 different ways to do that. So like getting the Russian ideology, the dynasty, the heat, the fit, the damage, the up to 187. That like it's cool to see everyone get those different perspectives and be able to freely ask about it. And I think it's setting up the next generation for a lot of success because they're going to add their own flair to a lot of things.
Yeah. And you're 100% right. That's huge for the next generation. But when you're consciously listening to that, that's huge for you to understand what your peers are thinking and what they're trying to accomplish. Like, I think that's been one of the things that's helped me most in my career. Like all the different places I played and stuff, I, just listen. I never emulate what someone else does, but just understanding the way their mind works allows me to know what I should be doing to beat them. Right. Like
100%.
And so like you're a professor there, you guys have all won 1,000 things, but I guarantee you, all of you were being conscious of like,
you would see
learning.
it.
Yeah.
Oh, you would see
learning.
it. Like I'd be talking and I'd see like people listening and they're watching me listen to them.
Yeah.
And there's no way that all of us aren't thinking the same thing. Is like, I don't want to give too much. This guy's right next to me listening.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like you're trying to help the kids. That's what you're there for. So you're kind of just giving your whole book.
That's one of the coolest things about like playing on like Team USA and Nations Cups and stuff like that too, because that's the one time that like everyone's like, who cares about anything else? It's like,
let's
I'm
win
an
this
open
week.
book. Like we're winning.
Yeah.
No, and I talk to Ronnie and Ryan almost every day, as much as they may hate it or I bug them, but that's fine.
He's needy. He's very needy.
But and I was talking to Ronnie a couple days ago, and I was like, we were talking about BKI and everything that went on and stuff. And Ronnie, I was like, we're gonna have Colt on the episode this week. And he was like, dude, I really liked the guy before, but he goes, dude's a solid guy. And I was like, he's like, I love him even more after that. And it was like, he was all pumped you were coming on the episode and stuff. Something I want to talk about though, I don't mean to skip over BKI. It's been in my mind, and I just want to mention it. One of my favorite photos of you is I think you're holding the trophy and you have this big old cigar hanging out.
He's all pictures of cigars.
Yeah, I was like, oh, that's badass. Because I'm not a big cigar guy. When I duck hunt or I'm fishing, I mean, you'll always find like I have a bunch of really nice tobacco pipes, and so I appreciate a good tobacco that is like not this cigarette BS, right? But I have to ask you, one of my favorite cigars, my buddy Billy Campbell, who I duck hunt with, he got me into it when he came down last September and fished offshore with him and his son, was a Fat Bottom Betty. Have you ever heard of those?
Oh my God. Yeah, no, those are good.
Dude.
Yeah, they taste like chocolate.
With a little bit of bourbon to it, maybe almost.
Yeah.
Cognac. It's like, I was like, that's dangerous.
There's one in Tampa. It's this lady who hand makes it. And I can't remember the name right now, but I know where she's at. And it's in Tampa, but they're hand rolled by her, but like they're like this like sweet, but not too sweet. It's like kind of hard to describe, but probably the best one I've ever had, and that's kind of what got me into smoking cigars. And now I only do it when I win.
I was going to say,
I
didn't know if you like smoke nice cigars or just any cigar that you're giving after a win.
Yeah, I save smoking any cigar for a win. Like I have a couple here that somebody will give me, and I'm like, no, I appreciate it, but like I'm not smoking this till we win.
Yeah,
and they all understand. Anyone
but
who's
I still
ever given me a cigar. Yeah, like I really appreciate it, but I can't.
Yeah, I definitely don't smoke as many cigars as I used to, but I was always a fan of Anejo Sharks. It was an Arturo Fuente cigar, but they were just fantastic. But I really haven't smoked any since I've gotten back from Cuba and smoked everything I brought back, and now I'm out. So
See, I've had.
I'll agree. Next time I win again, then I'll smoke.
Oh,
There you
Papa
go.
Hal's gonna go scrounge the town.
But I'm gonna come find you too, and you're gonna smoke one with me, even though you can't win
Okay,
at the
I
same
got you.
time as me. I think that's a fair
I got
deal.
you.
That's a fair deal.
I got you. That's fair. That's
Then
fair.
Papa
I'll do the
Hal's-
same.
Yeah, that's fair.
Papa Hal's gonna go out and find us some fat bottom Betties.
I never had a
We're
fat
gonna-
bottom Betty. Well,
They're
cigar.
good. They're good.
Have you ever had the Widow Jane from them too?
I've not.
The Widow Jane is like, it's an interesting shape. It's in a cone. It's a cigar, but it's cone shaped.
Like the square cone.
No,
Or
no,
the
no.
circular cone.
A
Yeah, and they
square
are
cone. A square cone. Ryan, come on. Explain.
like square sides once you get to like the actual barrel of it, but then it gets into a cone shaped.
No, it's like a
That'd be a
circular.
square cone.
It's like a circular. It's like a circular cone, you know, where it's a circle and it tapers.
It's a big dude.
It looks like it, dude. It looks like it, to be honest. I was trying to not say it because I got a government job, you know. I can't do that, but it looks like a straight cone doobie is what it looks like. But so no, they make that, and I've been meaning to. My buddy owns a really nice liquor store, and he has a super dope cigar selection. And he had a Widow Jane, and I was like, maybe. And then I bought like all of his fat bottom Betties. I bought like a case of fat bottom Betties. I was just like, I want those. But that's cool. It is a tradition. There's this specific moment when you're like, no, this is coming out.
Oh, yeah, anything tastes good. You know, a warm beer out of the trophies, like the best thing you ever sipped. Just the feeling of winning is irreplaceable, and it's the thing that I think any athlete strives for after they retire. You know, you always see people trying to figure out something to replace that, but there just isn't anything, which is why what we do is special, you know, which is why I think everyone should always chase their passions, and it doesn't matter. Life doesn't have to be traditional. You can find a million ways to live now. We talked about earlier, I think it's the easiest time in the world to do things like that. You know, you came from your dad was a cobbler, and now you know you're a big paintball gear manufacturer. You have one of the best fields in the world. You guys are one of the best teams in the world, and you know you can make your dreams come true if you try.
100%.
Amen to that.
And definitely appreciative of what paintball's given me, man. It's crazy to be able to travel the world, and like even today, like I had a guy come in because we have the shoe repair, and we're at the shoe repair, and I have a guy come in, and he's like wearing a paintball jersey, and just like is here early for nightball, so he figured he'd come where Hydra's listed at, which is just connected into our shoe repair. So he like came in to like pick up some products and like just talking to me about YouTube and all this stuff. And it was a crazy thought of like, it's kind of wild to think about that. Like, you know, when I was 16, I never would have thought like I'd be a big name in paintball. And to like look at that and be at that point is it's kind of eye opening, be able to travel the country and the world, and all because of paintball.
It's crazy. And it's like, you know, I'm no player of any caliber, right? Like I go out and have fun, and I work on being better than I was last time. But it's like the opportunities that was crazy for me is that it brought me my brotherhood that I lost, and it gave me my brotherhood that now is what my brotherhood today is. And it's like people don't understand what that really means to someone when they've lost something like that, and then you get something. And it's just one of those things. That's what paintball does. It's what it gives you, and it's what you make of it. You know, take the opportunity.
100%.
I think that's what the most beautiful thing is about paintball that I don't really know if any other sport really does that.
Yeah, a lot do, but
to the degree that paintball can.
Anything that you can fully invest in can do that. But I would like to go back to something that you guys were kind of touching on. And, you know, you talk about players stepping up, a system being built for that. But do you guys consciously think about building? You guys are in a good area, and a lot of that's because you have you've curated that with your field and things like that. Good weather for paintball. Been with a group of guys you've been with for that long, but do you think about not just advancing the area, but trying to get people to be ready to step into roles, because no team can keep something together forever, because life gets in the way, you know. And it's not that it gets in the way, but it just has different avenues for different people. And there's times that, you know, people that you thought you'd share the field with for your whole career have to step away and never come back. And do you guys consciously think about filling that role on the team and having people to replace it? Or is it more of a, you know, when that situation arises, people have to step up and do it, and you know, we've curated that so it can happen?
I kind of think it is a little bit of both, because like at our field, everyone kind of uses our system. So subconsciously, everyone is using our system. So like at a moment's notice, anyone could just be plug and play and hop in there. But like I mean, for example, like how they're talking about possibly doing the true X ball next year and stuff like that. Like we do have players already lined up that have been winning D2 events, guesting on other teams locally, because we don't like taking players from like teams that are trying to build their own thing, right? Because that was a big pet peeve for us, was when people would try to come like take our players when we were D3 and whatnot. Like when AC kept trying to take Trenton when we were D3 and D4, like and it was just kind of like what are we doing? Like leave our shit alone. You handle your own stuff. You know what I mean? So we kind of pride ourselves on not doing that to teams that play out at our field. But when they leave their teams and they're a talented player and they have their own issues, then I'm not going to let them leave our field and go practice somewhere else, especially if I know it's a talented player. Like, no, let me invest into you. Let me start helping you out with practices and stuff like that. And let me get you a team to play with. And like we try doing that to make sure we can keep investing in these younger players to make sure they don't squander it, or if it's like a money issue, figuring out ways to like, okay, we'll help on the weekends and then your paintball's paid for. You just help us air up the fields and like blow the field and whatnot, to where you can still get better at this game and not squander your opportunity and be the guy who comes back, you know, 20 years later and like, yeah, I used to be good.
Yeah.
And then now I finally can play again. And like, I don't want that to happen to
You hear
certain
that
players.
from so many people. It's like, well, I could have. It's like,
Yeah.
well, if you could have, you would have. Like, that's a conscious
Yeah.
decision to not. And
So we try doing like our part to like give them that opportunity to make it happen.
Awesome.
And then some people just like, no, I'm not airing up the field and all that. I'm like, yeah, that's fine. And, just pay.
You open the
Can't pay,
door.
you
They
can't.
still have to walk through it.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. But we do have some players in mind that are, and they already know, that'll be playing for next year, on FIT, that are going to be the new names and whatnot. But yeah, I don't know if it's like actively making sure we have replacements. Because like I do think with our squad, like I don't see anyone leaving or having a crazy issue that comes up to where they couldn't still play on the team and play at a professional high level, whether that's like, hey, I'm actually having a kid, so you know I can't practice this much, but I can still come every Sunday, or whatever it is. Like things will change, but they'll still be able to play at a super high level. So it is just just keep reinvesting into the community and just making sure people are actively getting better.
Yeah, I think that's a pretty easy blueprint. Hard to execute, but
Very hard.
It's pretty solid for if you can, it works.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I think that's super respectable. There's a lot of people that are out there that are just cutthroat, and they're like, we can get these people because of the name.
Man, I think it's a blessing. I think when people leave for whatever reason they leave, it could be good for both parties. But the last thing you want is someone to stay when they aren't happy somewhere.
No. But I think
there's things come in. So I think players getting offers either way is good. If a player gets an offer and he takes it, that's good for both parties. And if he doesn't take it, that just builds your core stronger. So I think it's a necessity that is often looked at negatively when it really does you a favor, no matter what the outcome is.
Yeah, I mean, I'd agree with that, because like if they're taking the offer, like
the last thing you want
to be on the team anyways.
And there's players like that on probably almost every team that if they got an offer would leave, and they just didn't get that offer. That's not good for either party. So,
No,
like I
it's
said,
not
like
good for
I
You don't
anyone.
want them there.
it's great when your team is
Right.
desired and getting offers, because you find out who's loyal, you find out who wants to build something, you find out what stamp of approval people want to put on, what their legacy, and that's a necessity for greatness. Like in my opinion, like
100%.
you have to always look at the positives from things like that. You can be resentful when someone leaves, but to me, it's like I'm always thankful because if you're willing to leave me, the last thing I want you to do is still be next to me, because I'm going to go
that's
into battle
100%,
with the people that I can trust fully. Like Rob, like I vouched for Rob at the beginning of this year. I was pumped to have him on the team. Like we practiced with him a lot last year, and I thought he was a great example on their team. Was always speaking reason. And to have him come on our team and then quit, a day before the layout drops when we have 7 dudes, like you'd think I'd be resentful. I was pumped. I was like, good. I was like, because if he was going to quit, then there's nothing I could be happier about than him quitting, because that wasn't helping us, him being there. And if it can be good for him leaving and be right for his mind, he can be more successful, and so can we. Like, so I think too many times I see, coaches, owners, players get stuck up in the minutia of that. But it really is a blessing.
Yeah, no, I mean, I completely agree. I'm still just, damn, that's crazy. The day before the layouts. Wow. They were in our bracket.
Here we go.
Yeah, they were in our bracket. So he left us with 6 dudes a day before the layout. And he text messages 3 people on the team, right?
Oh, this is great.
So I see my kid that, and I'm like, hey man, I'm happy for your decision. Like I was happy for him. It's fine.
Yeah.
And he's like, I was like, but it's kind of messed up. You didn't call me, message me. Oh, I did. I called you a message. I called everyone. Everyone's like, no.
That was after we played them.
And he goes, I could show you. I went, show me. Show me. And he just put his phone in his pocket. No hard feelings. Everyone has their own reasons, but I didn't like it.
It was wild. He came up afterwards, all like after we beat them, because they were our first match for the whole tourney, right, on Friday. And he comes up afterwards and just tried to be all buddy. And I'm like talking to everyone. I'm like, hey guys, what do we need? We need some protein shakes. We need some food or whatever. And he was just like being all buddy. And everyone's like, what are you doing here, dude?
Except Andy.
Wild.
Nice.
Andy was like, oh, yeah, I love Andy, but he was just
Mishka goes, what you do? He's not us anymore.
And it was the most interesting interaction. Like, I'm like, you literally quit on all these guys.
I still like the guy, but
I mean,
he lied right to my face.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
and
wild.
I was looking at Ryan when he said that, and I just saw that whole interaction.
Well, you also know that I'm never going to be like, oh, okay.
Yeah, no, you're going to be like, prove it.
Dude, one of my favorite from Dover this year, I don't think I've got sent a video as much as, I guess, like you guys were in the middle of a game and you came off and like me and you were just joking around, bantering during the point that was on.
Oh, yeah.
I got sent that video by so many people. I'm like, I was like, yeah, if cameras are on, that's all we're doing. We're just talking shit and having fun.
The whole time. Yeah. At the end of the day, like we're playing paintball, man. Like it's fucking fun. Like
If you
like
ain't
I
having
can
fun,
I
why
can
you
like
here?
someone and still want to see them miserable. That is no problem for me.
yeah. Yeah. I feel that.
That's an okay thing.
Yeah, as long as it's not like harboring hate at the end of it, like it's just all in fun. And we're here as competitors too, right? Like, I mean, y'all are both there as a competitor, and it's like you need that tenacity, you need that shit talking, you need that banter. Like, I mean, it's part of it. It makes a good competitor. And when people get to see that behind the scenes.
Well,
Like,
for real competitors, it throws gas on the fire, right? Like you're just
I was about to say some
vibing.
people it gets in their head, and there's
and it's a middle
there's
game,
certain
man.
players that I enjoy talking to because I know that they're not going to play good.
Dude,
And then there's some players that I'm like, hey, good shot, and I like walk away because I'm not trying to piss them off because I know they're going to play better.
So
my favorite thing is mentally knowing what bothers different players.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, 100%. He's
And I would never toy with those emotions, but if I did,
Yeah.
If he did, he'd be really good at it. Don't worry. I do want to ask because I've noticed with y'all, and anytime there's a blast camp guy on the field, where is that? Because that's a different level of intensity. Like, where did that come from? How did that start? I've always wanted to ask.
I don't think we really overshoot any blast camp
He
guys.
didn't even say overshoot.
I didn't say overshoot.
Oh,
I
then
said
what do you mean?
intensity. I just said I just said that y'all have a different intensity when there's like blast camp.
I think
like-
that's just because that whole year, like when you play the same team all the time in finals,
Yeah.
you're naturally scouting them on Sunday.
Yeah.
Right. So then you're becoming their biggest hater. You want them to lose every Sunday match because you're trying to win a series.
Right.
Right. So at least for me, that intensity came from just like it's almost like Cowboys and Eagles.
Okay.
You just don't want to see them be successful. Now that they're not, like it's not it like after we won the pro spot, I didn't give a shit anymore. You know what I mean? Like now I did what I needed. I honestly I wanted them to stay as a team, and I really wish they did.
I thought they were a better team than their record showed, and I thought
100%. I don't think people give them the credit that they deserve. They actually were doing very good.
They needed to get over that confidence hump, but they had they gave everyone games. Like I actually was impressed with how they played as a team,
and a lot of that came from like whenever we came down and it was the minors and majors, and Jackson was talking shit because we had Mark Johnson guest with us on a minor in Cali because he was like, hey, Diesel isn't playing this. Can I play with you guys? And what am I going to say no to a guy that's playing pro? Yeah, dude, that literally plays at our field. Like it just made sense. And like
it's funny because you guys are all such hard personalities. Like Mark, I love Mark, but man, like he's easy to hate. And like Jackson, like I honestly didn't like Jackson before I played with him. And when I was his teammate, I was like, man, you might be one of my favorite people. But it's just like the different interactions you can have with people. Like you can go like the thing that you can hate the most about them can endear you to them if it's in a different outlook on it.
Like, but now they're on your side and you're like, all right.
Or it's just you just look at it from a different perspective and you get to know them and what they're actually thinking when they're and like for like Mark, he's just such like a loyal dude that would always have your back, even if he's going to go to jail for it. Jackson, I saw his intensity, and sometimes like from the outside, it just came across as like kind of whiny at times or like overbearing and yelling at wrong situations. And then I got to know him, and it's like, oh, you were just put in a leadership position like before you were quite ready, and you just were passionate about it. And then like when you were in a different situation, like I saw him like learn and grow so much, and like I was super happy for them, this year to see their success so far because like I think he's earned every bit of it. And it's weird how like something that you hate about someone can really endear you to them when you see it from a different perspective.
Oh, dude, no, like 100%. But like now, like with camp, like, dude, I talk to like Nate all the time. I know he's on Infamous now, but like, I hope they win the pro spot. You know what I mean? I hope they win a pro spot in the next 5 years. I don't know if it's going to be this year, be next year, whatever, because I know it's still a tight race.
Yeah. And I don't want to put that up being worth double and
like I don't want to put that pressure on them because I know it is a lot of pressure when people start just assuming you're going to win it. But no, they dude, I wish them all the best. I think now there's not that big of a deal. I know like in the past I've had arguments with them, but I think that just comes from when you're beating a team so much that they just hate you.
Yeah, of course. Rivalries are always like from the outside, everyone thinks a rivalry is the same, like both teams hate each other. But depending on what side you are on in a rivalry, like it doesn't feel like anything or it feels like everything. and that can change slightly. But.
It definitely like got off to the wrong foot, and I mean that event we end up beating them in Sacramento, and they're yelling that we need pro assistance and like talking shit to me, and then I said some choice words back, and then fast forward to the next time we play them, and it's like we're beating them in the finals, and then I start screaming about we didn't need pro assistance that time, and then I think after that it just like they didn't like us, we didn't like them, and now we're fighting each other every finals, and we just happen to get the best of it 6 times, and
I think now like because of that history, someone sees someone get shot a bunch or someone sees it. Like you guys play with
Yeah, they
swagger,
think it's on
right?
purpose, and
And
I'm
it doesn't
like,
matter. Well, it is.
what's funny is that
It is on
Cup,
purpose. You're consciously deciding to do it.
Oh,
but it's
yeah,
not like
overshooting
with
in
a
general.
vendetta against someone, right? Like they see
Yeah.
it against them and they take it the wrong way. But if it's against someone else, they don't think twice.
Yeah, like and to your point about overshooting, I think anything over 4 balls, you made the conscious decision to fuck that guy up.
And sometimes
But-
I consciously decide to do it one time just so they know it was like
just one ball and look at him like, yeah, I did that. Yeah.
And sometimes I might shoot someone in the pack when I could have shot them 50 times in the back because then they know it's like wasn't even worth my time to mess them up. Like it's all mental and it's all decision making that's happening.
Dude, well, it's even like you said about the vendetta thing. I remember we played y'all at Cup and Jackson got like walked off and people just assumed it was me.
Oh yeah.
And I was like,
Dude,
I didn't even
I'm in the
shoot
background
that
of
way.
that video complaining because I think people thought I was complaining about Jackson getting shot, but I was complaining because we were in a 2-on-2 and I got pulled out for not being hit.
Oh, that's rough.
That was a brutal point because I had moved from like the 3 side over to the snake side.
Yeah.
And, you know, you just touch some bunkers on the way over. Like no one even shot at me, and this dude just pulls me out, throws a penalty. I was like, cool.
Like, all right, I'm out. Fucking, I guess fuck me. Like,
fuck me. And, and this was our last event as a team. Cool. I'm glad I.
Yeah, that's hard to think about.
And that I'm not gonna lie, like I like all you guys. Like, you know, I don't wish you well because I don't wish anyone I compete against well. But like I like you, and I don't care, right? But like I'm walking by and it's like, you know, you hear, oh, like these guys suck. Like, oh, it's like they'll never be this close to us again. And it's like, of course I'm gonna remember that. Like, of course. But like that's just you guys motivating each other. But
yeah,
you hear that too. It's like, yeah.
No, it's and as you should too. And I think that's the biggest thing in paintball. Like even like my motivation now, a lot of it is just things that have been said to me in the past by people that I don't even fucking play against anymore. Or there's people that are in pro now, like when Alex Goldman played with Diesel and said, I'll never be great.
Mm-hmm.
I'll never not remember that every time I play him. And he knows it. I know it. We're fucking each other up every time we play each other. It is what it is.
That's good.
It's 100%.
What it's about. It's why you're there.
But I think that's sports, and I think especially in paintball where it's such a niche sport anyways, that like this is a tight-knit community and everyone's gonna know each other and everyone's gonna have stories with each other. There's people in semi-pro right now that I was beating in D3. There's people in pro that we played against each other in D4. Like it's all kinds of crazy stuff to like look at that, you know, people are gonna hold grudges, people aren't gonna hold grudges, and I don't know. I think that's just part of the fun.
Yeah, that's competition. Like it wouldn't be fun without it. It wouldn't feel the same when you beat people or when you lose. You wouldn't have the same emotional ties to it unless you can get truly attached to these things. Like
I think people who don't get angry at all, I think you just don't care. I feel like that's
like I've definitely learned how to control my anger the older I got. Not all the time. Granted, I can be set off, but like when I was younger, I had no control over it. Now I know how to like toy with those in different ways. And that's just like a learned skill like anything else. But I don't know.
No, 100%.
What I do like though, and Ryan and I kind of talk about it kind of often, especially when we have some of the old school guys like Dave Pastor. We had, you know, Gant. You know, some of those
Chris
guys
on in a couple weeks.
Yeah.
Oh hell yeah.
Yeah,
that's sick.
But that's
sick.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun.
But very like soul.
The best. But what we talk about so often is paintball this day and age needs more rivalries. It needs the rivalry that y'all had with Camp. You need that because it makes the game more fun.
The rivalries do have to be real.
No, they do.
Yeah. They have to be natural.
Well, it's a lot like Damage and Russians right now, right? Like I think everyone's excited to see them play again. And I even said that because I saw Alex getting like in trouble by the league after he yelled at their pit, and I walked over and like we don't really like each other, and I walked over and was like, "Hey man, that was fucking sick. That's what the sport needs." And we both respectfully were like, "Yeah." Like he kind of looked at Jason, and then we were like at Trojan. It was kind of like, see? This guy doesn't even fucking like me. You know what I mean? Like,
I don't think Mouse would have done that for you, but
yeah. But it's one of those things that I'm like, I think the sport needs to be. People need to start showing a little bit more emotion, because at the end of the day, like you can't just be robots. Like
You're right, but a lot of that has been trained out by the league itself. There's years we played where you shot someone one time extra and you got a major. Like it was ridiculous at times. Like you couldn't say a word after, you couldn't do these things. And I think the league itself, thinking they were doing the right thing, setting examples, doing these things, but you're really neutering personality. And when you neuter personality like that, you can't expect it to be a light switch that turns right back on. And allows it, because people are still tentative because they're afraid of the repercussions of doing it. Because the worst thing you can do, especially on a great team, is costing your team something, right?
Yeah.
So if that means that you have to like pull back a little bit of your emotion so that you don't cost your team a penalty, because penalties are so selfish at a high level. It's saying that you don't trust the people around you to win without you. Like that's my mentality on a penalty, right? Like but they happen, and sometimes you get them, sometimes you deserve them, sometimes they're bad calls, but like purposely getting them or doing something that could cause one that can pull wins away. I've had it, I've lost to tournaments because of that, and and I think that's a learned experience too. Speaking of that though, like I guess I'd like to bring up, a lot of times people give you your team crap for, playing the gray and stuff like that. But I think a lot of that it really came from, you guys are one of the most like videographed teams in the era, right? So like you have at the time, Virgil was out at, every one of your practices, and he was not afraid to, show clips of you guys playing on, doing things like that there. So like it was like almost every time something happened, it was on display for the world to see, as opposed to just being something that happened. And I think that can give people a bad impression, where I don't think it's necessarily fair.
No, I actually like really appreciate that. There's a couple
I
clips,
think you guys do run the line though.
That being said, dude, we put as many cameras that are on us on everyone else. You're gonna see a lot of wiping at these tournaments. I don't know if you
I wish you could have that.
The series title winners, right, are leading series points people, but they get rid of some crazy stuff. But
that's what I hate the most about the sport, right? Like I wish, and you see that in football. It's $1 billion industry, and they still complain about the refs. It's a hard, thankless job, so there's no doubt about that. But like, man, I would pay anything to have completely a fair playing field, right?
100%.
Because as soon as it's not fair, as it's not fair, everyone thinks that they have to do this little extra, and it's not anyone's fault. It's just a competitive environment.
100%. Yeah. Like, but you're thinking about Verb, like he posted a couple clips. Like there's one where I like wipe a loader hit, and in that clip, it's a 7-man, and it was a 2-on-5, and I'm playing against Trenton, my cousin, she's the one who shot me in the loader. Yeah. And I'm like, nah, get fucked, dude. And I like wiped it. And then he posts it, and I'm like, bro, put some background on there.
Like, every time I've ever seen you cheat, it looks like you're just playing against like the biggest boobs or with them. Or just dude,
and that's what I'm saying. I'm playing with like D6 kids against Trenton with like D4 kids. And I'm like, no, I'm not gonna fucking get out right now. And when I still later in that clip get my shit wrecked. But like it was funny to me because I'm like, bro, like we're having a fun day of 7-man mech.
Yeah.
Let me
There's
put some backstory in there.
There's context for sure, but that doesn't get clicks. It's like, man, 100%. In fact, we finished every practice. Didn't matter who we were playing against. We'd be playing against Strange, and we would just all load up, go out on the field, and then you only walked off that point like when you wanted to. Right? Like we were knocking over air tables on the field, hooking our guns up to them with like cases of paint, just like turreting people. Like it looks like I got shot 500 times and wiped, but that's just an outlet. That wasn't like a serious competitive environment. But when things are so easily accessible to the masses now, like everything can get taken wrong, and that's in paintball, it's in life, it's in politics, it's in everything you see now.
Yeah, no, and I've learned to I don't even look at comments anymore. I just carry on about my business and do it that way. It's been a lot healthier.
Why you do me like this though, dude?
Oh, dude, all the time. I'll go to him like, what are you doing? And he goes, man, gets good clips.
What's my man's up to? Is he just being happy papa right now? I miss seeing him.
Yeah. He's got 2 kids, and he's just enjoying that his son is playing like t-ball and stuff like that now. So he's enjoying that. It's pretty cool to see.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Well,
That's awesome.
I feel like I know it's getting late for both of y'all. I do think we're at a good point where this is the one place where Ryan lets me put people on the spot. So
this is his unprepared question he's allowed to ask, even though he tries sneaking them in more.
every once in a while, like I might get something in every once in a while, but not.
Well, you're not very sneaky with them. So
I don't try to be sneaky. I'm just saying sometimes I get one. I am.
Tell me a funny story.
Tell me a funny story.
Hey, dude, I've had a hell week. I'll tell you about it after this. But no, I always like to end the episode. What is some life advice you could give anyone that's listening right now? Something that just speaks from your heart.
Yeah. Honestly, dude, the fear of failing or embarrassing yourself, I think when people understand that a week, 2 weeks, nobody's gonna give a shit about what happened, especially like paintball wise. But like once I started adopting that kind of mentality, I started winning more and being more successful in things that aren't paintball. Because you stop caring about, if I do this and I lose, I'm gonna look stupid. You just kind of like let the work show for it. So, work hard and just trust that things are gonna work out. And if it doesn't, learn from it, go to the next subject, right? And that's paintball, work, everything. That's kind of my biggest piece of advice.
That's great. I love that. Well, with that being said, man, it has been such a pleasure to get to sit down and chat with you and, just get to know you more outside of the field, because Ryan and I's whole deal when we started this, you might get 5-10 minutes a person all weekend with the amount of times you talk to them when you see them. And it's so much fun to actually get to sit down with people outside of the field and just have good conversation. And I really appreciate you. I love what y'all are doing, what you're doing, like what you're bringing to the game. And just appreciate you. And thank you so much for carving time out for us, because I know you're busy and it means a lot to me. And I know it does to Ryan as well.
Yeah, I definitely enjoyed the conversation, and I appreciate taking as much time as you did for us. And, I really enjoyed getting to know you more, and I, look forward to playing against you next event.
Yes, sir. Thank you guys for having me.
Yeah, anytime. When we're done, we'll roll out the outro and just hang tight for a sec. Cool?
Yep.
Sounds good. All right. With that being said, thank you for everyone listening. We appreciate y'all, and we'll catch you in the next one. Peace.
Well, the whiskey's low and the story's all done, but we sure had ourselves some fun. From tall tales told to the last good pun, you've been rolling with the rowdy ones. Thanks for listening, y'all.